What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are starting the brand new Mixed Nuts Low Blow Wrestling Review. This is a segment where I go through 5 biggest stories throughout WWE and wrestling in general. I'm gonna go cover the big stories from Raw, Smackdown, NXT. I'm gonna pick something from the indie scene, whether it be somebody from the indie scene merging the WWE or some show on the indie scene that you should go check out, something that happened, and then finally something that affects the overall pro wrestling aspect. Let's jump right into it. Monday Night Raw, the big story coming out. They're excuse me. They're going to their big go home show towards Clash of Champions. Clash of Champions will be this Sunday, and they have a really good card, but the biggest story coming out of Monday Night Raw was the debut of the Cruiserweights, and the Cruiserweights tore the house down. Brian Kendrick is the number 1 contender to the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, and he'll fight TJ Perkins on Sunday. The big question, though, I read an article on WhatCulture.com that WWE might be telling the Cruiserweights to cut back on their style. While this is good for preserving the Cruiserweights and preserving their body, the big issue is that's what makes them stand out. So it might not be the best idea for them to tone down their style, but I can really see WWE doing that based on injuries that have happened as of late. Smackdown rolling up, and on this upcoming Tuesday I will be attending Smackdown live in person when it comes to Cleveland, and AJ Styles will be defending the WWE Championship against Dean Ambrose. On this past Smackdown, however, there were 2 big matches: Dean Ambrose versus John Cena, and The Miz versus Ziggler, again for the Intercontinental Championship. Both are worthy pay-per-view contenders, and both of them were really good matches, and Dean winning via roll-up was actually quite a surprise to a lot of people. But a lot of people are saying, oh, Cena loses clean all the time now, he's losing every time now versus, let's say, AJ Styles. It's still different. If Superman goes down, it's still a shock. So there is quite a few. What am I trying to say? It's shocking, to say the least, to see Cena go down in such a way, especially via roll-up, not a big move or anything. And they're really booking Dean strong here, especially towards his match next week for the WWE Championship. Again, I am very much going towards AJ Styles on that. NXT, just catch that last night because I ended up watching it late, and NXT was a really good show. Cedric Alexander debuted on NXT, and he did a fairly good job against Andrade Cien Almas, who's starting to show a little bit more of what he can do each and every week. I can't believe I just said each, whatever. But Cedric Alexander is doing a really good job. The big story coming out of here is Shinsuke Nakamura is, pretty sure it's kayfabe, injured for 6 to 12 weeks. And considering NXT is pretty cheap, that's not quite a shock. But Samoa Joe came out and said that either give him the title or give me Shinsuke. Either way, he wants one of those things. Regal told him no. Samoa Joe got out of the ring, got in Regal's face, and said, hey, either you do that or your rest of your roster is going to look like Shinsuke did. That is a lot of fire behind Samoa Joe, and I'm really excited to see where this goes in the upcoming weeks. According to WhatCulture.com, or at least that's the article I read, WWE are interested in signing Matt Hardy. And Matt Hardy has had a bit of a career renaissance in TNA with the Final Deletion, or Delete in Decay. And he's been going through his career rebirth in this new character, having a full creative control on TNA to do this section, and he is doing really well. He is the talk of the wrestling industry because of the crazy things he's done. If WWE were to sign him, I feel like this broken Matt Hardy character would not go with him. I feel like that they would bring back Matt Hardy as sort of the nostalgia, or maybe version 3, whatever it's going to be. But I do not see Broken Matt Hardy or Brother Nero storyline shifting over. If it did, that would be pretty interesting. And finally, WWE is looking has made a bid. Not only that, but Ring of Honor has on TNA. And according to several various news sites, Vince McMahon would want TNA for their library and their history, similar to what they end up doing for WCW. That would be really interesting to see old episodes of Impact and old DNA episodes on WWE Network, which would look really weird at first. I don't know about that. But I feel like if Vince McMahon were to buy TNA, the entire wrestling community would change, and that Mr. McMahon is monopolizing again, and he is taking over this once big company. So I don't feel anybody would be a fair competition to him. Lucha Underground is starting to gain some steam, and Ring of Honor, if TNA gets bought out, would be the second biggest wrestling promotion in the world. But as of right now, well, third, not counting New Japan. But Vince McMahon would own the rights to WCW, the rights to TNA and their content, and the WWE, and that is a major milestone. They'll own the three potentially biggest companies so far in history. I don't see them continuing TNA because they've tried that with WCW and it ended up bombing, and I don't see really any continuation of anything other than some people being brought in. I don't think they'll keep on to the people they released. I think Aaron Stevens, Damian Sandow would be gone, Cody Rhodes would be gone. Potential for Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre or Drew Galloway. I see potential for them, but a lot of the other ones, I feel like they're just going to either quit or the WWE is just going to drop them. So that is our list of the 5 top stories coming out of this week. What did you think, and who do you think would benefit most from WWE buying TNA? Would TNA get a resurgence, or do you think WWE would just get a brand new thing of content? Remember to like, share, and subscribe on this video, and I will see you next time.